And there's just something about like doing it with people that I found that really like ignites a lot of creative ideas and flow when you're doing it with people.
You might find yourself right now just like, man, I don't have any creative people around me. You have the God of the universe.
Today I'm back in the bunker studio with Magic Dave. He's here.
Hi, gang.
He's back and better than ever.
Here I am with a cup of coffee in my hand that I probably shouldn't be drinking.
Oh. Cool. So we talked about this a couple of episodes past, but Dave has a new book out. So we're going to talk a little bit about Gaming the Gospel, give a little spiel.
Yeah, Gaming the Gospel, a nerdy devotional written by a nerd for nerds.
Perfect.
Just talking about my love of retro PC gaming and some console gaming from the 80s, and just really about, how do we pursue Christ in everything that we do. And really the book is about worship and the things that we end up worshiping. And for me, a lot of times that stuff was gaming, but really this book translates into a lot of different areas of just like all the little idols that we make in our life. So you can check it out, gamingandgospel.com. It's on Amazon. So yeah. And I know someone else is working on a book right now.
I am working on the book. So as a quick update for those listening at the time of this recording, I have finished said book in terms of the writing aspects. Now I'm starting on the editing process and hopefully, hopefully have it published by the end of this year, but we'll see.
Praise God.
So more updates to come, I guess, on that. But
big time.
Yeah. So today we're talking about creative collaboration and
creative collaboration.
Yeah, say that 5 times fast now.
Yeah.
If you think about it, at least maybe this is just for me, but the creative process is kind of an isolating and I guess lonely thing. Not necessarily in a bad way, but it's just like you're alone and you're doing your thing, whatever that thing is.
Mm-hmm.
You and I have been kind of talking a lot more about collaborating together and what that looks like and that kind of creative accountability. So maybe we can talk about that and share like what we've been doing and how that's helping.
I think in the last year in particular, but over the last 2 years, we've been gently nudging one another, be like, hey, are you doing something creative? Hey,
do the thing.
Are you doing a thing? And I think in the last year, well, man, I would actually kind of pinpoint it. It was kind of when we, we started doing the prayer house stuff down here. We kind of got down and started praying and just asking for inspiration and just for God to be more a part of our lives. And I think, so I can kind of tab that as like, that might be kind of a time when that kind of started rolling for us. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. An example of that is right now. Because for those who don't know, I brought Dave on this podcast, so I'd give me a good excuse to actually do it.
Yep.
Because left to my own devices, and it was just me, I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And this podcast would not exist. But yeah,
it'd be very lonely.
Yeah. So Dave and I have been looking for ways to either creatively collaborate together, as in like working on the same thing. But we've also found ways to encourage each other, and that has looked like meeting up at coffee shops, working on our respective things.
Mm-hmm.
That's been like texts, conversations, check-ins, like, hey, how's your thing? How's it going?
Discord. We got Discord channels.
Yep. So we do that.
We have Google Docs. We have spreadsheets.
Yeah, we got all the stuff. Got all the things. But this kind of way of like joining our creative projects and ambitions together I think it's been really helpful, at least for me.
Yeah, absolutely has. I think God is doing a new thing. For us. That was something early on what we were praying about, just that God would do a new thing.
Yeah.
So, and here we are.
You're
part of it right now.
Yeah. I think for me, the biggest thing has been the accountability aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Like having someone that is going to check in with you and ask you about the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because without that, it's easy to put the thing on the back burner.
Yep.
Or push it off or not do it. And no one will know because there's nobody checking in with you about it.
Yep.
So that's been really good to have that kind of accountability. I guess that's the right word, accountability, creative accountability.
Yeah, creative accountability. There's all sorts of
Yeah.
accountability. Yeah. Well, it's just, I mean, whenever you are in relationship with someone, friendship, and just you want to be like, here's some things you can check in about. Just like I would like push back on this in my life, and I think that's ultimately discipleship.
Yeah.
That is iron sharpening iron for one another. So
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't think I've had a lot of that. I don't know about you, but in my life, I haven't had a lot of that accountability. It's been
yeah,
my own creative processes have been strictly me most of the time. And I can't
mm,
really think of an instance where I was part of like a group or just another checking in with another person.
mm-hmm,
I think most of it was pretty just me going off my own to go do my thing,
yeah.
which isn't necessarily bad. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, this that the kind of connection and accountability has been really, really good. Something I haven't really had before.
Yeah, I think it's also important just as creatives, you know, being in prayer and asking the Holy Spirit for inspiration.
Yeah,
We have a very good Father who loves us, and um, if you ask for things, ask for the right things, the good things, He wants to give those to you. And sometimes that process is not immediate. Sometimes you have to work it out a little bit. You got to work out your salvation,
yeah,
and just like figure things out a little bit. But if you listen and if you still your heart, if you quiet your heart and your soul and your mind enough to hear the voice of the Lord,
yeah,
I think he is an amazing creative partner
yeah.
in your endeavors. How about you, Evan? Have you experienced that?
Um, I feel like I'm not very good at that, and that's something I probably need to grow in. I've kind of been wanting to grow in.
I don't think anybody's good at.
Yeah. Um, like there's been a lot of on my end running off and doing my creative thing, whatever that is, and
Mhm.
not really stopping to invite God into it
Yeah,
or just to ask him, hey, should I be focusing my time on this? Is this what you
yeah,
want me to be focusing on? It's been a lot of like passion. Not that this is necessarily bad, but like passion driven, like this is what I want to do when I go to like chase after it
yeah.
and just kind of that. So yeah, I mean, if it was like writing the book, I probably didn't do enough or real like check-ins with God and like prayer over it. Um,
It's okay. God gets a whole other draft.
yeah, maybe.
Well, I will share a story. Well, just a tangent here. When Matt Papa was working on Look and Live, one
Oh
of the
yeah, yeah.
books he released, it's a great book. Check it out on Amazon. And he wanted me to read a chapter, and he had a MacBook Air. I remember, and we were riding in the car going somewhere, and he's like, "Hey, read this," and I read it, and I just and I was done, and I just closed it, and he's like, "Oh no, I didn't save it,"
Oh no.
and I think he lost a good bit of whatever chapter that was. I
Oh
just,
no.
and we were just like, I'm like, Matt, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I just closed the lid.
Oh man.
And, but we were praying, but it's like, maybe God wanted you to do another draft.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've had some moments like that before with things of like you wrote something or made something and either didn't save it or put it somewhere and then it just like it's gone. And then
Yeah.
you had to start from scratch and then you're kind of remind yourself of like maybe I wasn't supposed to write that
Yeah.
or at least not that way.
And I think sometimes I've had those errors happen, the failed drives, and then I redo it, and I'm like, okay, this is better now.
Yeah.
That I've actually did a second draft on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, creative process. It's always a thing.
It's always a thing. Messy but fun.
Yep.
Um so I came up with some ideas here for folks that we can talk about and if you're listening, some things you can think about maybe incorporating into your own life and creative process that could help with accountability and finding community and that sort of thing. So this is something that first one that Dave and I have started doing is we do creative sessions on a
Mm-hmm.
regular basis. So we call it
Yep.
like creative days.
Yep.
I guess this kind of counts as like creative day.
This is a creative
So
day
we
right
we
now.
meet up somewhere like Dave's house or a coffee shop or something, and we just meet for however long, and we work on something creative, either
Yep.
together or separate. But we're still in the
Yeah.
in the same room.
Another buzzword for that is co-working.
Yeah, creative co-working.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so that's a thing. It's just us two, but you feel free to like do that with more than one other person. If you want to do that in a group, that can work too. If you find like-minded people who want to do the same thing,
Yeah,
that can work.
yeah, and you might find yourself right now just like, man, I don't have any creative people around me.
Yeah,
And I think we both relate to that, so we have some empathy for you, the listener, being like, yeah, this is great, but I don't have anybody. This you have the God of the universe. He has your back. Just like I would encourage you just to dedicate some time to praying. Just like doing it multiple times a week, and just put your creative process on hold and just pursue Him in prayer, and ask Him for people, for the right people to be put into your life, the right kind of people to they'll put the right labels on you. Just that you are you're loved by God, and you're a creative.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. And just, not people be like, oh, you're this person. You only do this type of thing. Oh, you're just a programmer. Oh, you're just this, it's just like, we are creatives. We have the Spirit of God living inside of us. And guys, that's not nothing.
For real.
That's everything. So.
Yeah, it's good. Second option is to trade feedback with fellow creatives. So share your work, if you like, with someone that you trust who can either give you some constructive feedback if you want it, or just general thoughts.
Yep.
So I've been enjoying doing that with my own book. I've passed out chapters to people and have had some folks reading kind of like the initial parts of the book, which has been really fun to like share it and pass it around.
Yep. And it's also brutal.
It's also brutal, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I kind of like the idea of like creating in public, where you're really just like upfront with what you're working on and sharing it, and through the whole process, even if it's like messy.
Yep.
I know we have a tendency to want to like do it in isolation and like perfect it and make it like, just the way it's supposed to be, and then share it with the world.
Yeah.
I found it kind of fun to and maybe this is just me, I don't know, of sharing it while it's still messy and not perfect yet.
Yep.
And just getting people kind of in on the ride beforehand, before it's ready.
Yeah. This makes me think that, with the YouTube culture and social media, that like everything's content. There are some things that can be just for you. Yeah. Just for God, not everything has to be content. And that's really hard to push against, because like that pressure is there. Just like, oh, I have to be doing this. Yeah. And just like whenever you get into these words of like, I have to, I need to, those are red flags. Yeah. And you need to stop and think, okay, why am I saying I have to do this? Right. Or I need this? The only thing you need is God. So, man, that could be like a whole other episode right there. Talking about that.
Third option is online or in-person meetups. So if you have a group or community already, you can schedule, I would say in person probably the ideal, but if you can't, find like an online group that you can join. Yeah. To talk with other creatives and talk about your projects and that sort of thing. It's probably out there somewhere. You just got to look. Like Discord servers.
Well, one of those communities is the Nephthos Discord.
Oh, yes. The Nephthos Discord.
Yeah. You go to nephthos.com, nephthos.com, and just look for the Discord link. I'll send you a little invite. You can hop on our Discord and you can say hi. And we'll be glad to celebrate whatever you're doing, encourage you, give feedback. So you can just post it right in there.
Yeah, so. There you go. And lastly, it would be collaborating on a project together with somebody. So if there's a way to do that, that's going to be an option too, of not just two separate things, but maybe find a project that you can do with somebody else. Whether that's writing a book together, or I don't know, working on some art together, or something where you can do it with one other person at least and collaborate. Yeah, but I think community can really help us make better art. Yeah. And I think that's not an accident, since I think we're made by God for community.
Amen.
And there's nothing wrong with just creating by yourself. It's not like that's bad, but I feel like when we get
it's half the picture.
Half the picture, yeah. And there's just something about like doing it with people that I found that really like ignites a lot of creative, or unlocks a lot of like creative ideas and flow when you're doing it with people.
Oh yeah, I love that process of this. Because I'll often approach it like, hey, this is the idea. This is not the best idea, but there's a better idea behind this. So help me. Yeah. and just saying it and then letting other people respond to it. And then oftentimes a better idea will show itself.
Yeah.
And, I think that in particular, like on the film set,
Oh, yeah. That's where collaboration is really like a big thing. Big part of it.
Especially if you're doing any form of like guerrilla shoot and you don't, like, there's a rough plan and the plan just kind of shows itself over time. If you have the right number of people collaborating that are, good vibes around, and just on kind of on the same page. So.
Yeah. So moral of the story is don't create alone. Find a group that you can create with. Get some creative accountability. Even if that's just one other person, find a way to make that a regular habit in your life. Thanks so much for listening. If you want more content like this, check out my newsletter on Substack. It's evansdaily.substack.com. Link is also in the description. And I'll see you next time.